This training segment will walk you through the technical aspects of completing the FPDS planning components of Strategia. This video is a short 15-minute step-by-step walkthrough of how to complete the Strategia FPDS plan. If you're looking for guidance on how to draft or what kind of content to include in your plan, please consult the cheat sheet guide entitled Short Drafting Guide for FPDS that can be found on the Strategia FPDS intranet page. Let's get started. To log into the system, select the fiscal year from the first drop-down menu. You're planning ahead in Strategia, so the fiscal year you select will be the fiscal year starting in April. Next, select your mission from the second drop-down menu. If you type the first few letters of your mission symbol very quickly, you'll be able to locate it without having to scroll through the entire mission list. Click Enter to get into the tool. The first screen you see when you log in is your mission homepage. The menu bar at the top is where you'll go to find your relevant program area. You'll also see a yellow box at the top of the screen which includes a number of useful reminders when navigating Strategia. For instance, you should always keep in mind when you're using the application not to use the browser's back or refresh buttons. You should always remember to save your work regularly to make sure that data that you enter is not lost. You shouldn't use bookmarks to access the Strategia application pages, and you shouldn't have Strategia open in more than one tab. Scrolling down, you'll find 5 key information boxes. On the left, you'll find key information about the mission and its IMS fund centers. And on the right, you'll find the mission filing requirements and network participation. At the bottom, you'll find status history, which tells you if your plan is open or not. The filing requirements field is important because it tells you whether your mission is required to submit a plan for a specific program area. Trade offices, for instance, will only see the commercial program box ticked, as they will not be required to submit plans for other program areas. Similarly, some missions may not have an FPDS program, and as such, these missions will not be required to submit an FPDS plan, and this will be reflected under the filing requirements. Note that the Strategia application is database driven, so if a box is not clicked here, it will also not appear in the menu bar at the top. If you have any questions or concerns about the filing requirements set up for your mission, please contact Strategia at international.gc.ca. The network participation box is also key, as it tells users whether their mission is part of a broader network plan. Note that for year 1, only political networks are supported. These networks consist mainly of in-country networks where countries like Brazil, India, and Germany, among others, submit program plans on a country basis rather than by mission. Contact the Strategia team for further questions about networks. So we're now ready to start working on the FPDS plan. By clicking on the FPDS tab in the top menu bar, you'll see a drop-down menu appear with several items. The FPDS home and feedback summary aside, the other items in this menu make up the program plan components that you will need to complete in order to submit your plan. We'll click the FPDS home to get started. This page gives you an overview of the steps involved in completing your FPDS plan, as well as the second way to access the program plan components. From this page, you can see where you are in the process. You can save or print a PDF version of the plan. You can view who has last updated the plan. And you can also access the feedback summary. This is your go-to page for all of these key functionalities, and you'll likely visit this page many times over the drafting and planning process. The program plan steps on the left shows where you are in the Strategia planning process. Note that you're on step 1, preparing for HQ review when you first log into the tool. Also to note, on the components of the plan table, you may see the name of someone that you don't recognize under the Updated By field. Not to worry, this is a Strategia team member that has populated relevant information from the latest MPR plan from your mission into Strategia, making it easy for users to simply revisit and update the plan for the new fiscal year. So to get started, click on the FPDS Ongoing Engagements and Environment hyperlink. You can also access from the top menu bar. On this screen, you'll see 2 text boxes, one for FPDS bilateral work and a second box for multilateral. Text here is pre-populated from what was entered under the previous year's MPR plan. You may copy and paste material from other documents here and your formatting will be retained, or you can type directly into the box to make changes or additions. Note that there is a 3,000 character word limit. You can also use the formatting tools at the top to format the text, and you can also include hyperlinks as well should you wish. To do so, copy the link that you'd like to include and paste it into the text box. Highlight the hyperlink and click the Insert Link icon, and then paste the link again using the Ctrl-V command on your keyboard and hit the Submit button. You'll then have an active and clickable link right in the text box. While you're working on Strategia, be sure to save often. Like most online systems and applications, there is no autosave functionality in Strategia, and the system will automatically time out after a 60-minute period of inactivity. It's therefore important to remember to click the Save button regularly as you're drafting. When you do so, a yellow box with green text will appear at the top of the page to confirm that the information has been successfully saved to the Strategia database. So moving on to the next section, the FPDS desired outcomes, which you can access through the top menu bar. Missions that completed an MPR plan last fiscal year will see FPDS commitments populated here. Scroll over the paper icon on the left side of the screen to view a snapshot of what is written under a desired outcome in the list. Clicking here will not do anything. To view and edit a desired outcome, click the pencil icon located on the right. You can use the black arrows to move a commitment up or down the list to reprioritize the list of desired outcomes. Clicking the X will delete the commitment. A warning message will appear in case you hit the X accidentally, prompting you to confirm whether you really wanted to delete that desired outcome. So let's click on the pencil to edit the first desired outcome. When you get on this page, you'll see a series of questions and text boxes. Fields with 2 red arrows preceding the question are mandatory, and you won't be able to submit your plan without entering data into these fields. As we saw in the ongoing engagements page, a toolbar appears at the top of each text box, allowing users to format their content. A print page icon can be found at the top left of the page. Note that this will print this desired outcome only. It will not print the entire plan. A reminder again to click Save often as you're working on your plan to ensure that your content is not lost, and always click Save before changing pages. To get back to the list of desired outcomes, click the Desired Outcomes List button on the top right. Note that the recommended maximum number of desired outcomes for a mission is 5. However, the system enforces a maximum of 10 and will not allow you to enter any more after you've reached this limit. When you're ready, you can move on to the next section, FPDS Resources, through the drop-down menu at the top. The FPDS Resources page captures both financial and human resources data. On the funded positions table, enter the number of CBS and LES positions that are funded by the FPDS stream. This includes positions or boxes that exist but that may not be filled. For positions that are filled on a part-time basis, you should still indicate one whole position if the position is receiving full-time funding. Should there be additional details to include about the staffing situation at the mission, or anomalies that may be misrepresented by the numbers that you included above, please enter a short narrative to explain in the text box below. Keep in mind that Strategia is an open system, however, which is accessible by all Signet staff. Sensitive and classified information should not be included in Strategia. Scrolling down, we'll next find the program operating budget. You'll see many commitment items on this list, some of which you may not be familiar with. If you have any questions about the commitment items that appear here, you can contact strategia.budget@international.gc.ca. Or you can consult the program operating budget page on the main Strategia intranet page. So you'll complete your budget ask based on anticipated needs for the next fiscal year. The numbers entered here should be based on planned FPDS events and initiatives. Note that whatever is entered here will roll up to a mission total and will form the overall mission budget request that will be submitted to headquarters. Budget requests will be reviewed by the Business Management Office, the BMO, and the Geographic or Functional DG, and allocation decisions will be based on what is entered here. Again, if you have any questions about the commitment items or about the budget process through Strategia, You may contact strategia.budget@international.gc.ca. So if we keep scrolling down the page, we'll next find a field for other DFATE funding sources. You'll see a message that says no records found. To add a funding source, click the Add New button on the right. You'll find a drop-down menu that appears with a few predefined options, including PIF, CFLI, and La Journée de la Francophonie. If there are any DFATE funding sources that the mission is using to advance FPDS work that is missing from this list, please contact the Strategia team to have the funding source added to the list. The partner funding table works the same as above. When you click the Add New button, a drop-down menu appears, prompting the user to select a partner from the drop-down list. Again, if there's a partner missing, please contact the Strategia team to have it added. The other funding table works a little bit differently. When you click the Add New button, a text box will appear, allowing the mission to type the name of the contributing organization and to indicate whether it's a private firm or not. At the bottom of the page, users will find another text box giving missions the opportunity to include additional details about funding needs or challenges of the mission, including, for example, a special upcoming event in the new fiscal year, or circumstances that may require more funding than the average year. Be sure to click Save to ensure that the data entered on this page is not lost. Once all of your sections are complete, you can go back to the FPDS homepage to print the plan to present to the head of mission for review. You can go back and make further changes to plan components as needed while you're under the first step preparing for HQ review. Once the head of mission or chargé has reviewed the plan and it's ready to be sent for consultation with headquarters, you can click the yellow Send to HQ for Review button found on the FPDS homepage. When you click this button, a draft email will pop up with some boilerplate text. You can change or add to this text, and you can choose the email recipients. For example, you should be consulting with your geographic or functional counterparts. The Strategia team will be copied by default. Note that when you click this button, it will lock the draft plan, giving headquarters the opportunity to go into Strategia, review the plan, and provide comments through the Feedback tab. You'll be able to edit and update the plan again once headquarters has submitted their feedback through the system. Also note that after clicking this button, you'll see a submission date appear next to the step that you just completed. This list of steps will guide you through the process and allows anyone to see where the mission program is in their planning process. Note that every program under Strategia has their own distinct planning process. Once HQ review is complete, and feedback has been submitted through Strategia, the mission point of contact for the FPDS plan will receive an email notification from the leading reviewer or reviewing division. For most missions, it will be your geographic division. The HQ reviewing draft step will also be date stamped with the date that the feedback is sent back to the mission. The plan is now open again to the mission for editing and final updates before it is finalized. To view HQ feedback, click the FPDS tab from the top menu bar. You can also access it from the FPDS homepage in the Utilities bar. Note that feedback entries can be done by different divisions at headquarters, so there may be feedback from various contributors to review. You can print or save a PDF copy of the feedback received by clicking the Print Page button at the top left of the screen. Once final updates to the plan have been made and the head of mission is signed off, the FPDS program can submit a final version of their plan. Go to the FPDS homepage and click the Finalize button. Note that anyone at the mission can click the button on the head of mission's behalf. Once clicked, a date stamp will appear recording the submission date, and a finalized version of the plan will be stored to the Strategia database. Note that the FPDS plan will remain open for editing throughout the year, allowing the mission to reflect changes and maintain an evergreen plan. This concludes our video tutorial on how to complete your FPDS plan. If you have any questions, please contact the Strategia team. Thank you.